just a few weeks after a trailer drops for it, Kraven the Hunter delayed another year. This is not a movie I was particularly excited for. It's not something that like screamed to me, I have to watch this movie. But this does play into what Sony has been trying to do for years in building a Sinister Six style Spider-Verse universe, whatever. Christian, how you feel about this? I mean, you saw the trailer too. Did that inspire any hope for this movie actually being good?
The trailer looked alright. You could tell that they're kind of going for like the rated R Deadpool type with this one. It did. I didn't really find it all that great, but I tried not to give it hype because of Morbius. When I first saw a Morbius trailer, I was all hyped. I was like, "What? Like Morbius is in the Spider-Man universe. This is pretty cool. Like, how are they gonna do this?" And I kept thinking, like, I wonder if they're gonna try to get like Blade in there and mix it into the MCU. But none of that came true. It was just a horrible movie. So this trailer, I was pretty lukewarm on it. Um,
Yeah. I guess for me, and this goes into like I've never understood Sony's philosophy on this one.
mm,
It's hard for me to have a Spider-Man movie or a movie set in the Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man,
mm-hmm.
and that's what they keep trying to do, and I just don't love it. You know,
No,
like
it doesn't
I
work.
know that the Venom movies are very popular. The Venom movies we've seen so far, we know that movie is going to or that trilogy is going to have its third movie coming up soon. But for the most part, and I think Venom's just a stronger character. For the most part, I just don't think that most of these villains can stand on their own without someone to work off of. For Kraven, like I question like who is that? Who is that thing that kind of makes Kraven like who's that thing that gets people excited for a Kraven movie? Right? Like who's the main threat? To
Yeah,
me,
exactly.
Kraven's the main threat.
Yeah, exactly. Because in the storyline of Craven, he's always hunting down Spider Man because Spider Man is the one thing that he can't catch. So, what entity is going to play that in this film? Because in the trailer, all I saw was okay, Craven is a hunter, but he's just killing dudes left and right. And it's like, okay, but why? Because every trailer they don't tell you why, but they give you a little glimpse of where this can go. I didn't this trailer. I think that's why I'm like lukewarm on it because it's like, okay, what's the purpose of Craven having his own movie? Why?
Now, I guess one thing you could say to Sony's benefit or giving them the benefit of the doubt in this is that Joker made $1 billion.
Mm,
Joker, you know? So why can't I make a villain movie without that villain's main antagonist or the protagonist of said series?
mm,
I think for that one, the simple answer I have, I think Joker's just a more interesting character
mm-hmm,
than anything the Spider-Man universe can really pump out for the
mm-hmm,
purposes of a standalone film. Because Joker has so much like nuance to his character, the fact that we never really know what his backstory is.
mm-hmm,
Craven is pretty one note as a character, or at least to me, feels like pretty one note. And maybe that's on the movie to kind of change my mind about that.
mm-hmm.
But I just don't see myself. Listen, I just don't see myself opening night wanting to watch the Kraven movie. I'm just gonna put
No,
it
I
bluntly.
yeah, and that's how I kind of felt about the Venom movie when they first came out that trailer. Because I kept questioning too, like, why are you gonna do a Venom movie without Spider Man? But they also did other things within that movie that showed, okay, well, this movie doesn't really need Spider Man all that much.
And Venom is a more interesting character than
Hmm.
Kraven, too. I
Exactly.
think that's on the God's honest truth. I mean, and that shows in the comics because the comics have done so much more to make Venom his own character. The fact that
Yeah.
Venom has a standalone comic series, that Venom is, you know, is an anti-hero to many
Hmm.
people. He's not just a villain. Like is the thing. Like to me, Craven's just always been a villain.
Yeah, he's just always been a villain, always like hunting, doing all that. I
And for movie audiences too, I think movie audiences obviously always need a protagonist. Now it sounds kind of cheesy to say, but you need someone to root for. Who do you
mm,
root for in this one? And also to kind of like even kind of consider the real life world about it, there's not a lot of people that actually have fond views of hunting nowadays. So
hmm
I kind of wonder if there's going to even be a little bit of pushback to this movie, especially when we consider Craven's a big game hunter, which I don't have a problem with, but I'm sure some people will.
I heard a rumor though that they changed this Craven that he doesn't hunt animals. I heard
So
that one.
you're pussifying Craven. You're taking away one of his core aspects as a character.
Essentially, so I think that's why in the trailer he's just killing dudes left and right.
Yeah, because we have to make him more likable because he's killing the quote unquote bad dudes, which, if I understand the trailer, also are people that are big game hunting.
Yeah. So I think that's the change that they made, but it to me it just doesn't sound that great. You know what I
It's a
mean? It's like,
deviation on that character, a character that works well being that character.
mm-hmm. It
And hey,
just doesn't.
credit to Aaron Taylor Johnson. The dude looks fucking yoked for this movie.
Yeah, and I like that actor a lot. I think he's a good actor, but this movie I don't think it's gonna do that great for him, to be honest.
No, it just sounds like a movie that's going to do no one any favors. And I also just question in general, like, beyond moving beyond Craven and having this discussion, like, can these movies, or I guess I should say, because Sony will say, can these movies work? Well, we do have Venom that worked. Well, okay, other movies coming up then. We have, like, Madam Web. I know they want to do a movie about, like, some obscure lucha libre wrestler played by Bad Bunny, and that's falling through on them. Um, can they do a Green Goblin movie? Can they do a Doc Ock movie? I just don't see it. There
Yeah,
has
I
to be a
don't see it
natural
either.
foil there. And if you're the thing that tethers the universe together, if it's not in there, it feels weird. And, the more. I'll bring up Morbius. Like if you want to
Oh
bring up your
god,
successes, then I can just bring up your biggest failure. It's Morbius.
Morbius, dude. I still have yet to see that movie.
Good. No one should. No one should shout to the rooftops, it's Morbin time. It was a
So
bad movie.
yeah, okay. So Sony itself, I try. Okay, so I love the Spider Verse movies. They've been killing it with Spider Man. I like Venom. I like the Let There Be Carnage. I thought that was a fun movie. But other than that, dude, I just I don't like their plans with the villains. Like
Is it safe
Madam
to say they've
Web.
just yeah? Is it just safe to say they've just burned their goodwill with us because they we talk about the failures all the time of Spider-Man 3.
Mhm,
Then you go into the Amazing Spider-Verse, and I know you like them more than I like them. I didn't love those movies to begin with, but
mhm.
the Amazing Amazing Spider-Man 2 was awful. And
Yeah,
I'm not trying to diminish Spider-Verse when I say this, but at the end of the day, it is animated movie, which I do feel gives you more liberties and things ability to do stuff creatively
mhm.
like they've done. Um, when it comes to live action movies like they're releasing here, like Kraven, I don't. Their track record, I don't think, really justifies it.
Yeah. And then, dude, I have like no faith in the Madam Web movie. I just, I don't, I don't see how they can do it. Like, I don't know. I don't see it. Like when they announced that, there's like a big question mark on my face. Like, how?
At
And
one
also who
to
greenlit
tell you
this?
how ridiculous it got at one point, and this was during the Amazing Spider-Man era with Andrew
I know what
Garfield.
movie you're gonna bring up.
They wanted to do an Aunt May movie. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
like that tells you how ridiculous that at one point Sony got with it, and I think Marvel kind of reined them in a little bit, like on doing that stuff when they finally got the Tom Holland deal done.
Mhm.
But since they got that money, that financial boost, and a little bit more good equity with Spider-Man properties, I think that they have decided to take it to the next extreme and again go back to doing what they wanted to do from the beginning and just squeezing every last drop of money they can from this like universe that just isn't that deep. It's just not a deep roster, I feel.
Yeah, yeah. There's like Venom himself. You said like we both agree, he's a very more interesting character. With him, there's been so many storylines that they could keep the Venom movies going on forever.
And okay, let
But
me
with
also just
everyone
say with the
else,
Venom movies, yes, people like them. Yes, they made money, but those Venom movies are not exactly taking home any Academy Awards.
mm.
Is that
and
fair to say? Like, they're not going to be critically acclaimed movies in the same way that at one point Marvel was, and even some occasional hits from DC. Like,
yeah,
they're mostly people have fun with them more than they're good movies.
yeah, that's true.
Like,
That's very true.
my
Dude,
God,
speaking of, oh my god, that Aunt May movie, dude. When they announced that, I kept thinking like, are they gonna get Nicholas Sparks to write this shit or what? Like,
it's
is it? It
so
sounds like a romantic movie. Like, what
it's
the
so
hell?
dumb. Like, whoever pitched that, like, I hope that they don't have a job anymore.
Like, who the?
Like,
Because remember
why are
when
you
he?
insulting your audience? Who would watch it? Is the biggest question I have.
I don't
Oh yeah,
know.
I'm gonna watch the Aunt May movie that doesn't have Spider-Man and focuses on Aunt May and her struggles in this universe.
Yeah,
Who
I
who?
still remember that. Oh my
It's like an
god.
insult to like the intelligence of movie-going audiences. It's just like they'll just pay for anything if it's comic book related.
Yeah, for real though. Yeah, they did think that back in the day, and then Marvel came out swinging and was like, "Oh, yeah, they won't."
Yeah, Kevin Feige stepped in there as like the fuck you will, like come
Yeah, for
on,
real.
like what are we doing here?
Yeah, exactly. I did feel kind of like that with the Madam Web movie. Not gonna lie. Like I was just like, why?
What are we doing here, guys? Come on, Sony, be better. Just focus on your strengths. You have Spider-Man.
Hmm.
Focus on the strengths. In fact, you're lucky right now. You have potentially 3 Spider-Man to pull from at the moment.
Hmm.
Make those sequels. If they work, then we can start talking it. Build Sinister Six within those Spider-Man's universes, but don't try. Stop with this nonsense of trying to make the Sinister Six happen outside of Spider-Man's main continuity. I feel like giving them the Mean Girls talk. Stop trying to make the Sinister Six universe happen. It's not going to happen. That's how I
Exactly.
feel about it.
Yeah. Honestly, if I was Sony, I'd go for like the symbiote storylines, dude. That's what I would be doing,
I
especially
was
with
like
Venom.
protesting these movies mostly on principle.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Dude, Morbius was the one that made me question like all this shit. Like, why? Like, why are you doing this?
Gosh, I watched the movie. You can't even really talk, man. I watched that movie. I had to waste
I
2 hours
can't
of my
believe
life. I spent on a matinee to watch Morbius.
you spent money. Oh no, bro,
I,
I didn't
I
spend
went
any
to a
money.
matinee movie, so I got a discount, normal, just chill, run of the mill day, and I still felt like I wanted my money back. That's how bad
Re-
that movie was.
Remember when Sony thought that people wanted it to be released in theaters again because of all the memes, and they did.
The expert trolling that went into that to convince a studio that's already released a bad movie to try and re-release that movie.
Re-released it again.
I really hope that 20 years from now, the It's Morbin Time movement restarts and Sony tries to get cute and it's like 20-year anniversary. It's Morbin time. God.
Dude, that I thought that was so funny. That was ridiculous. That was hilarious.
It reminds me almost when we bullied once that I think Paramount to change Sonic the Hedgehog. That's the internet is powerful,
Oh
man.
yeah, internet's very powerful, dude. Oh
All
yeah,
right,
don't
guys.
underestimate it.
All right. Well, hey, maybe we're wrong. Are you excited for Kraven the Hunter? Let us know. We'll question your excitement, but let us know in the comments section. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on our social medias. From Julian and Christian, stay safe, happy, and healthy. We'll see you next time.